Hillary Clinton is not just linked to the deranged, satanic, and pedophilic characters of James Alefantis and John Podesta, but there are some more notable ones, such as George Soros and Frank Giustra. George Soros, a man who has been called the one-man Illuminati machine, donated millions to the Clinton Foundation for works in Haiti, even making personal visits with Hillary Clinton on several occasions. And I have to say, they both seem a little too excited when they come walking up on these poor little Haitian kids. Frank Giustra, a very well-connected and powerful person, donated over $100 million to the Clinton Foundation. One of his ventures is known as El Pita. Look at the image spray painted on one of the compound walls. Does that look familiar? By now it should. It's the Boy Lover logo, right on the wall at an El Pita project. El Pita, or should we say El Pedophile, just happens to work with refugees, and you will find that the federal international human trafficking agencies are even more sinister than the Child Protection Services. There is also a strong connection between the Clinton Foundation and the British royal family, through the new Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau.
All right, so how does any of this relate to the royals and the Clintons? Well, you may recall when Justin Trudeau was sworn in as the Prime Minister of Canada, he swore a very lengthy and detailed pledge of fealty to the Queen of England.
I, Justin P.J. Trudeau, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I shall be a true and faithful servant to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II as a member of Her Majesty's Privy Council for Canada. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, or that shall be secretly treated of in council. Generally, in all things, I shall do as a faithful and true servant ought to do for Her Majesty, so help me God.
The excuse for this $241.5 million donation to the corrupt Clinton Foundation is supposedly that it will support projects that will provide critical sexual and reproduction health services around the world.
Strange timing for a prime minister to donate over $250 million to a non-profit organization ran in the private sector by a former U.S. President and Secretary of State, a time where the trafficking investigation in Haiti was at its highest.
These are men of the Illuminati. They are Jewish. They have been using the United States as their proxy because for many years they have sought to gain control of the United States, because even today this is what is called the last great superpower on earth. To get their way, they must control the United States. With the United States, then the United Nations and all of the rest of the nations of the world, including, of course, the European community, will come under their sway. I believe the Jewish ADL, or the B'nai B'rith, this Jewish Masonic Lodge, my opinion is they control the FBI. Remember, the founder of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, was a 33rd degree Freemason. Pike is probably known as by the Masons as their greatest hero in history. He was, by the way, a Confederate Civil War general. Pike wrote a letter to Mazzini, his Italian and European counterpart, and Mason and Illuminist, and he said, our goal is a series of 3 great wars, world wars. 2 will be fought in Europe. The 3rd and final war will be fought over the Middle East.
Learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears, and never regrets. But knowledge isn't just comfort for the mind, it's a weapon for the soul. In a world that takes your time, your peace, your pride, learning is the one thing that gives more than it takes. Fill your mind not to impress others, but to survive yourself. Because when the noise comes, only a sharp mind cuts through it. Learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears, and never regrets. But knowledge isn't just comfort for the mind, it's a weapon for the soul. In a world that takes your time, your peace, your pride, learning is the one thing that gives more than it takes. Fill your mind not to impress others, but to survive yourself. Because when the noise comes, only a sharp mind cuts through it.
People ask me why their grandparents or great-grandparents never talked about the reset. Why don't they remember anything about it? Well, let me try to explain it. First, there were the Cabbage Patch babies. Now, these weren't just toys, you see. They became a symbol of something much bigger, a massive repopulation effort after the reset. These babies, they weren't born the usual way. They were produced almost mechanically in large numbers and distributed through a cold, efficient system. Strange, isn't it? Brings to mind ideas like cloning, doesn't it? And maybe that's why today you see so many folks who just seem to go with the flow. No questions, no thinking. Did you know they say nearly half the population doesn't even have an internal monologue? Imagine that, living life with a quiet mind, just following along. Those babies, those orphan trains, they were shipped off along with abandoned children who had survived the reset, taken from their families, sent to faraway lands. Many ended up in America. And when they got there, they were given a new story, the official version of history. No elders left to tell them the truth. Nobody to remember how things used to be. It made them easier to control, you see, easier to accept the new narrative.